looks ridiculous.
Good thing it isn't a video podcast.
Today, my guest is Rhea.
Mm-hmm.
Rhea is my friend. Rhea, are we friends?
Yes.
Yes. And how do we know that?
Okay, I have an answer for this. In the sense that I don't remember when we became friends, but I remember the moment I realized we were friends.
Oh, what was that?
which is pretty late, because my sort of like baseline on being friends is, can I talk to them one-on-one? So it was the day where we made the nian gao together. Because I think that was the first time we hung out alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we hadn't hung out alone before then.
Mm-hmm.
I think my baseline of... Okay, but I think it takes me a while to actually realize if I'm friends with somebody. Because it's, if I can talk to them one-on-one, and if I'm fine with being in silence with them and it's not uncomfortable. But also, I need to know if the other person thinks we're friends too.
Yes, that's a very good point.
Because you could be really friendly acquaintances. And even in a... Okay. We're both Christian. From a Christian perspective, Christians are brothers and sisters in Christ. And some may say that makes us friends.
Yeah, but then again, I don't talk to every Christian in the world.
And also, I'm not friends with all my family members. So... Like, I've got cousins, like, decades older than me, and, like, I don't know if I'd recognize them if I saw them.
Oh, same. I only know the ones that are in Singapore, which is one family.
I've got a cousin who I think works in Australia or New Zealand. I've got cousins, well, my aunt, like, my mom's oldest sister... moved to Canada ages ago, and I've got 4 cousins over there. I can recognize one of them. I can recognize one of them.
You can recognize one of them. Good. Out of 4.
Yes, 1 out of 4. That's a 25%. Which many would say is a fail, but...
Hey, 1 out of 4 is better than 0.
We're Asians, not Phasians. But... Yeah, friendship. I think friendship is a weird thing. How would you define a friend?
I think I make friends a bit too easily. I have to say, because my idea of friendship is literally just, hey, do I like hanging out with them one-on-one? So, like, I especially in secondary school, I made friends really easily. So it was really easy to make friends for me because, you know, I just need to go into a classroom, smile at someone. If they smile back, hey, we can hang out together.
How do you know they're smiling on you? They're smiling at you on purpose?
Because we are desk mates. I usually start with my desk mate and they have nowhere else to look.
Do you change desk mates?
Yes, we do. Yeah. But I usually work, like, my desk mate and then either the desk mates in front or behind. I work my way around the classroom.
And how big was the class?
About 20-something students.
Oh, and you were friends with average...
Let's say... Okay, in each class I had, like, a group that we made. But starting off, I would make maybe like 5 friends, and also because I made friends so easy, like my thing is like, okay, they want to hang out with me, they smile at me, I don't mind hanging out with them, right? Okay. Every single first friend I made each year I would not keep. Like, but mostly it was the kind of situation where it's like I realized like, hey, we are very different people, and then I'm like, oh, okay, and then we slowly just drift apart. But if not, then I'll keep them. And I do very, very, very well in low maintenance friendships. Okay. Because like how all my friends will know that I'm a terrible texter. Oh yeah. Like me too. I will take forever to respond to you. I still have not responded to everyone who wished me happy birthday last
me
year.
Too.
And my birthday is September. Just
my
putting it out there.
My birthday was July.
Some of them I still have not like responded to.
I know, me too.
So
does that make us bad friends?
No, because okay, most of my friends seem not to mind, like the friends that I keep. So I think that's a really good selection process for me, because then I have friends who I'm comfortable with and I don't have to like overexert myself for. Because if not, there's friends that have a lot of expectations of you, and then there's friends who have no expectations of you. And I only recently realized the difference because I only recently had like friendship problems. This was like last year because my friends had expectations of me and I didn't realize they had expectations of me. So yeah, but it works out really well because last year I went back home and I met up with friends that I hadn't talked to or seen in 5 years, and they still wanted to be my friends. So
yeah, I'm surprised that people still want to hang out with me because I think I'm the biggest flaker I know. Like I mean, just yesterday I had was it yesterday? Yeah, I had a 12 p.m. badminton court. I told Zoff. And I showed up at 12:50. Which is
for
not
10
good.
minutes.
Sorry, Zoff.
Zoff watching it later be like, oh, Elisha.
Yeah, I'm sorry, my bad. But yeah, like my entire family knows I'm the biggest flaker. I don't know if it's some time blindness or something I'm not diagnosed for, but well, YouTube thinks I have ADHD. I'm getting these ADHD center ads on my YouTube homepage.
Huh. Well, it's a step up from what you used to get before, so.
I'm still getting the gay tests.
So now you're gay and you have ADHD.
That's what YouTube thinks. And I don't click on the ads. I don't know. I don't think I've searched anything that would make them think I'm either of those. But I keep getting them. I've gotten gay dating app ads for men.
For men.
And STD test ads.
Now I need to see your search history.
What is my search? Okay, let me just pull up. I'm pulling up my YouTube search history. Okay, there's Heyday, because I play Heyday. I need to get like the codes. I have Smosh Reddit stories. Accent Slips compilation. Late Nights with Sammy, which I'm name dropping. That is a YouTube channel. I know his brother. I know his two brothers. I have Alex Myers After Series. He summarizes them, talks about how ridiculous they are.
And they think you're a male with this search history.
I have Rebel Essex. That's on my search history. Because I wanted to see if we had backup of rebellion footage. I have Dead Meat. I have Psycho Alfred Hitchcock. I have... Oh, this is so stupid. Bully Maguire Peppa Pig. That's what it says. Bully Maguire Peppa Pig. Yeah, that's the full... That's the full page of YouTube search ads. What in that makes them think I have ADHD / I'm gay?
I cannot answer that question, but I have no idea.
No, but I was talking to Tofumi and Lauren yesterday, and they said it might be because of all the musical theater I listen to.
Do gay men really like musical theater?
Well,
I don't know.
kinda.
Do I have any? I don't have any friends who are gay men. I have a lot of lesbian friends, but no gay friends.
How many? I think I have a gay man friend that I might have ghosted for months.
Aww.
I don't know. I hope we're still friends, but at this point, like, it's not I don't want to be friends with him. It's I don't think he'd want to be friends with me.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Because, like, as the thing you said, the expectations, I don't know. I don't know what people's expectations are, and how do you start that conversation? Like, are you a low maintenance, like, low contact friend? How do you just ask people that?
I usually don't ask people that. It's more so the friends that are willing to still... So, like, the friends that I haven't seen for 5 years, right? We used to be in secondary school together. So, at that stage, we would see each other every at least twice a week because we were in the same CCA. So I would see them at least twice a week.
Sure, what's a CCA?
It's like after school clubs, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Something that you have to partake in. So I see them twice a week, right? So even then, I would see them regularly, but I will not respond to texts very fast. and they were okay with it. So in the sense that when we meet up, our relationship is still the same. They still consider me a friend. We still have a good time. They never like come up to me and be like, hey, you don't respond to me, I don't like you.
So it's like your friendship hit, like, you're still friends, but your contact hit pause, and then once you get back together with
it
them,
just
it's like...
unpauses.
It's like it pauses.
So,
Okay.
like, in the sense that because I'm very consistent in my not answering texts, like, taking a long time to respond to you, being present when we're together, but when we're not together, I'm just, like, a ghost, basically. Before we have a chance to be friends, they already know that about me. So the fact that they're willing to be friends after that is already, like, okay, they're fine with it.
Okay, that makes sense.
But I also give them the out where I tell them, like, hey, you know this is me, but if it affects you, you can tell me and I will do my best to respond more. But so far, none of my friends have gone like, hey, yeah, I need you to do that.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it. Because if you don't communicate expectations, how's anybody supposed to know?
Yeah.
Because you have what people call social graces, and what some fancier people may call basic human decency, and I'm using air quotes here, basic human decency. But sometimes common sense is less common than you think.
Yeah, definitely.
And sometimes somebody's common sense might be, oh, we like texting each other a lot, yay. And I'm like, I will think about texting you back, but I'm gonna do my alone time and then get back to you, and then I forget.
Yeah, same.
I did see this website link on Reddit. I forgot what it's called, but I'm sure I have it on an open tab on my laptop. That was somebody who was really bad at texting people back and keeping in contact. So they developed like a website or an app so people could set reminders to get back to people. And I need that.
I do that, but I'd also be really annoyed by that.
Yeah, it's like when I was on YouTube and I decided to turn on remind me, like the setting that's like reminding people to take a rest, to take a break. I said that for every 25 minutes. And so every 25 minutes I click no. And it didn't make me want to take a break, just made me annoyed.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it'll make me not respond even more because I'm like, you're just like, annoying me now.
Stop.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, but... So wait, if you were to count... You don't have to name any names. If you had to count how many friends you had in this country, in the UK, how many would you say you had?
I would say, okay, I have...
She's counting.
2 groups of friends.
Okay.
So my friends that I made... Technically, I made them in law school, though not all of them are studying law now. Oh. That group expanded a bit. And then I have friends that I made in CU. So those are the 2 big groups. So like the CU gang. And then the other group, there's about, I think, 7 of us.
Okay.
And then I have 1 individual friend that I meet once a week just individually.
Okay.
So I think those are my group. So maybe in total, I don't know how to count CU people. Like, I don't know an estimate. Let's say 10?
10. Wow.
I'm sure it's more than 10, right? Well, because, okay, 5 plus, let's say 10, 15.
Okay.
And then plus 7, so that will be 22
max.
Plus 1, so about 23.
About 23. Okay. So you'd say you were in a friend group, like multiple, but you're in a friend group. Are you friends with every individual person in the group?
Yes, and I make sure that I am. Because my first year in secondary 1, so in my school, we called it 2 things. You can either be in one of 2 friend groups, either a clique or a gang.
A gang!
And we call it like a gang or a clique, right? A clique is when you are in a big group of friends, but you're not friends with everybody in the group. And then a gang is a group of friends, again, but you're friends with everybody in the group. And I didn't know the difference until secondary 1, where I was in this clique. I didn't know it was a clique, right? I was in this group of friends, and it took me a really long time because I didn't have the chance to be alone with each one of them. We were more hanging out in a group. And then I think 3 or 4 months after we all became friends, this girl in the group and me, we ended up being on the same train home, and we did not say a word to each other. And that's when I realized,
And that wasn't comfortable silence.
Yeah, it wasn't comfortable silence. Like, we genuinely had nothing to say to each other. And I realized, I'm not friends with everyone in this group. And I also think that when you're not friends with everyone in the group tends to break down a bit faster. So then, yeah, that group only lasted a year. We stopped being friends after that.
Because it's not one person or two people who are the glue of the group.
Mm-hmm.
Ideally, you are the glue for each other.
Yeah, if that is the case, that one person is the glue, I think the group will break down quite fast.
Yeah.
For the rest of them, because you only feel comfortable with this one person, and then everyone else is just...
You've got mutual friends,
Yeah.
but once the guys... You know, those... I've watched those YouTube videos where, friend group, but once the guy goes to the bathroom and everybody else is just sitting there...
in silence.
Sitting there awkwardly, and once the guy comes out of the bathroom, they're like, yay!
Waiting for the main character to come back.
Everybody's just an NPC.
Yeah.
The NPCs don't move until you come back.
Yeah.
But, okay, so... CU people.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say you're... Okay, is that a group of friends, or are you individually friends with people and it's only a group because we meet every week?
That's a good question. I think meeting every week helps make it a group. Though, to be fair, I'm not sure about how other people's feelings are. As in, like, for example, if we weren't in CU anymore and we were like, hey, let's have a CU gathering, I feel like different people would invite different people to that CU gathering.
For that hypothetical gathering, depending on who's gonna be there, I might be sick on that day.
Yeah. I can already tell. Like, if, for example, I feel like if you ask each one of us, like, who would you bring to this hypothetical gathering, they would say different names.
Yeah, I would not bring myself. I'm gonna be sick that day. I'm letting you know, so I'm not flaking. I'm gonna be sick that day. Like, I'm really busy that day.
Also, like, I don't want to offend any CU member who's potentially gonna watch Elisha's show, but there are people there that either I haven't had the chance to talk to individually, or I know I can't talk to individually. Like, I can talk to them in a group setting, but I cannot talk to them individually. Also, interestingly enough, like, usually I don't talk to people first. Especially guys, I never talk to them first. If they talk to me, then I'll respond. Baseline, I don't know how I've made any of the friends I've made in my entire life. Genuinely, I cannot tell you how. But especially guys, because I'm usually more, like, cautious around them, so I'm very surprised every time I make a close guy friend. Girls, sometimes I will talk to them first, but I'll usually smile, and if they smile back at me, I will have the confidence to approach them. So I'm surprised that of the people I've made friends with. Yeah,
okay, so for CU, you were secretary this year. How many, do you remember everybody's names?
No.
What do you do when somebody tells you their name and you can't hear them clearly and you've already asked them twice?
Usually I'll go to someone like Tufumi and be like, hey, do you know that person's name? Can you tell me the name? Sometimes I really need them to spell it out for me before I can, like, pronounce it. But also, like, about names, I do tell people, like, when I meet them, like, I'm really bad with names. We might see each other, like, 10 times before I remember your name. So I give them that sort of disclaimer.
Same.
So the next time I see them, I'm like, yeah, you remember, I really don't know names.
Especially law students, you gotta give that disclaimer,
Yeah.
so people have the full disclosure before they sign the contract.
Exactly.
Read the fine print. It's not even fine print, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but also what I found out in, like, recent years, it's really easy to go through, like, multiple conversations without bringing up each other's names. I feel like you can get away without knowing people's names quite easily.
Yeah, I don't think I've had a conversation with somebody without knowing their name, because I'll ask them their name, and then we might have a minute-long conversation. I walk away, and I've forgotten their name.
Yeah.
And then the next time I see them, I probably mix them up with somebody else. Like, I don't know if I've told you, but I have told people this story. It was that, one time I was in Cornerstone, which is the church I go to in the UK, and there were new students coming, and we were all in a taxi together when we left.
Yeah.
And some of them I either didn't know their name, or I knew the list of names, but I couldn't match the name to the face, even though we'd just been in the same room for an hour.
Yeah.
And then weeks go by, and I'm still mixing up their names.
Yeah.
So, I want to preface this by saying, don't judge before you hear the full story. All those girls were black. All those girls were black, and I'd been mixing up their names for weeks.
Oh.
And then it was a Friday. I was talking to Moralake and Jess about it. And then Friday I go to CCF, Chinese Christian Fellowship, and I find out I'd been mixing up multiple Chinese girls' names for months.
And did you say it to their faces
Yes!
and they never corrected you?
No. I've never said it to their faces.
Okay.
But one of them told me, "Oh, I saw you in the square, and I didn't say hi to you because I forgot your name." And I was like, "Oh, that's okay." And then I was like, "Oh, is your name this?" And she was like, "No." I was like, "Oh." Oh.
Well, you forgot my name, so it's fine.
So yeah. See, she forgot my name. So it's fair. But what I'm saying here is, I'm not racist. I'm not racist. It's everybody. It's everybody. It's
yeah.
Yeah.
It takes me a really long time. And I recognize faces faster than I recognize names, which is saying something because it takes me at least 3-4 meetings to recognize a face.
A face. Oh, one time I was playing badminton, and then there was this one guy I saw for the first time. And I finished playing. I walk out, and I see him on the squares. I was like, I feel like I'd seen his face somewhere before. I just don't know when. And I think we made eye contact. And then I walked off, and I was like, oh my gosh, I played badminton with him not 10 minutes ago. But yeah, it's for me to be able to recognize a name and a face, because I'll recognize faces. I might have some names in my brain drawers somewhere, but in order for me to match your name with your face, we have to have had a shared conversation where I learned information or a memory that lasted multiple minutes. Because when you said your social life was your group from law school, where not everybody studied law, and CU. My social life is badminton and CU. And I'm not friends with everybody I talk to there. Yeah. Especially badminton. It's group chat of how many people? Let me check. 82 members. That's crazy.
That is a lot. Having 82 friends is a lot. How do you...
We're not friends.
Yeah, exactly. So, but how is it possible to make them all friends? 82 people. I don't think anyone would expect it.
I don't think anybody in the group knows everybody in the group.
Yeah, makes sense.
Because some people were added by not the original group admin, but people who were granted admin access. So they would have added people that the admin didn't personally know. This group started as a 5-person group, so I was one of the later ones added.
Yeah, I also think so last year I had a birthday party for the first time, right? So it was the first time I had a thing, because I have quite a bit of friends in Singapore, because primary school, secondary school, college, right? I have quite a bit of friends there, but when my mom told me about birthday party, I really had to think about who I really wanted there, right? So I narrowed it down to 20 people that I would want that. And I only included groups of girls because I didn't want anyone to come alone. So I only included groups. So I included, maybe there were I think 1, 2, 3, 4 groups of friends there that I invited to that place. And oh my gosh, these are my closest friends, right? That's why I invited them to the party. But my mom said she could arrange everything for me, but I just felt really weird giving my friends' numbers to my mom. Not for my mom, but for my friends, because what do you mean you wake up one day and you receive a message from your friend's mom? That's a bit weird. So anyway, I was texting them about all the details, whatever, right? And I planned it out in my head. I was like, okay, because I don't like texting, right? So I planned out in my head. I was like, okay, I will text all of them. I think it was between 3 or 4 a.m. because my idea was like, okay, 4 a.m. is when the people who sleep late will have gone to sleep. The people who wake up early have not woken up yet, right? So I was like, okay, I'll text them all at 4 a.m. So then, like, they don't respond immediately. So I texted like 15 people, like the details, whatever. And half of them responded immediately. And I was so stressed out. These are my closest friends. I love them. I love talking to them. But having 15 people message you at one time for someone who doesn't like to text. After that party, I did not go on WhatsApp for a whole month because I was really stressed out by the idea of WhatsApp.
That was your cool down time.
Yes.
Dang, 20 people at a party. 20, do I even have 20? I'm gonna see if I have 20 friends in Hong Kong. Because, okay, there are some friends I made in middle school who I'm not friends with anymore. Just because either we've drifted apart. Not because we had a fight, but just because we hadn't talked in so long.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you don't talk to somebody for too long and you start talking to them again and you haven't kept up with them, it's like they're a different person. Like, there was a friend who I hadn't talked to for 2 years, and then I talked to her again, and I was like, that's not who I remember you being. But nothing wrong with that. Like, people change, but how do you deal with that?
To be fair, I don't think I've really had to deal with that. In terms of, okay, primary school people, like, it did happen. Like, friends I made in primary school, and then when you go back for reunions and you see them, it's like, whoa, you really changed. But I think that's because primary school we leave at the age of 12. So that's an age where you're still sort of growing, and there's very big influences on the people you have in your life. Secondary school was like 12 to 16, right? So by the time we leave, the friends that I kept there, I think sort of have a basis of their morals. So yes, they still surprise me with some things they do, but I know the general morals standing, so that doesn't, in my opinion, has not changed much. They've definitely grown, but like, it's like that thing with soft limits and hard limits. Like, you'll cross your soft limits depending on the situation, but hard limits you won't cross. And by then, I think most of people do have like an idea of what their hard limits are. So they can surprise me, but not to a very drastic extent, because I know where their limits are. And then same for JC friends. Like, you're 16 to 18.
Okay.
So you're already like mature enough to sort of have your limits again.
Like, you're getting to your legal adult age.
Yeah, so I feel like once you know someone's like limits or like values, if usually they don't always completely align with me, but I know the type of person they are and I'm fine with it, kind of situation, then they don't really surprise me. I think the biggest thing is also the fact that, firstly, like, yes, there's lines that they can cross in terms of what they do that will make me like uncomfortable to be their friend. But if they don't cross that line, even if I haven't seen them in, let's say, 5 years, as long as both of us are just very open about each other's life, like, I'm happy sitting there catching up on the 5 years with them. And if they're willing to do that too, I'm like, that's enough.
Same. Like, I don't know if this counts as small talk, because I don't think I'm great at small talk, but if I haven't seen somebody or kept up with them, I will ask, like, so what do you do now? Like,
yeah, I'll be like, tell me everything that happened in the 5 years that we didn't see each other.
What do you do? Like, I have somebody who I don't know if we're friends, but like, they ended up doing great. Like, currently, I'm not gonna give too much info, but they're doing great. Like, they're jacked.
They're jacked.
They are jacked.
Damn.
Like, she could toss me. Like, she could, like, I'm talking physically, she could toss me.
Damn. Wow. No, I think at this age it's really, really easy. Like, there's standard questions you can ask someone who's your friend who you haven't met. Like, for example, because before you met them, they wouldn't have been in uni. So it can go like, what are you studying in uni now? And then it's like, now it's like, hey, what do you want to do in your life? Like, how did you come to this point in your life? You weren't like this when I knew you. And then it really opens up a lot of conversation. Like talking about people's interests really, really does open them up if you're already friends.
People's interest. Do you know what your interests are?
No. Not academically, but I know that I'm very interested in shark diving right now.
Shark diving. You were just telling me when we were outside.
Exactly.
So how does shark diving work? What do you know about it?
I know I see professional divers at the bottom of the reef just bopping sharks' noses and redirecting them.
What kind of sharks?
Oh, there's all sorts. They go from well, to be fair, I'm very bad with shark names.
Do you have a black tip reef shark?
Yes.
What about
a white tip reef shark too?
Yeah.
I've seen those.
We have those in Ocean Park in Hong Kong.
Ah.
Yeah. Nurse sharks?
I know what nurse sharks are, but no, they usually go for the more dangerous sharks.
Like leopard sharks, tiger sharks?
Yep.
Have you seen them touch a great white? Because the great whites are the most,
Yeah, I know,
angry.
but I don't think so.
I don't think it's a good idea to mess with great whites.
Yeah.
There's a reason we don't put them in aquariums.
Yeah. I really, really want to swim with whale sharks, though. I love whale sharks. I was having a conversation with a group of friends today. One of my friends asked in our group chat, what type of sharks do you? What's your favorite shark? I was like, whale sharks.
Whale sharks, they're so pretty. They're like spotted. And
I've seen so many videos and pictures, but I saw them in real life
Big
last
mouth.
year when I went to Japan. I was
You
like,
saw them in real life?
yes, I went to an aquarium.
Speaking of Japanese aquariums,
Mm-hmm.
the first time I ever saw two horseshoe crabs mating was in a Japanese aquarium.
I think you told me about it. You told me like how they were positioned.
Yes, I did. Cause I was with my mom. It was before COVID, like the winter before COVID started.
Mm-hmm.
My mom and I went to Japan, and yeah, we went to an aquarium. I was like, oh, this is such a cool stingray. I've never seen anything like it before. I was like, it was
Yeah.
two circles. It was two circles and one tail.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom was like, that's not a stingray. And I was like, no, this is clearly this. There's a stingray sign right there. That means they're stingrays. It's just I've never seen this kind before. And she said, no, they're mating. And I was like, what? That's not. That's not what a stingray. What? So then I look closer at the sign,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't a stingray. Well, it was a stingray like nearby. But the sign that pointed to the current tank was horseshoe crabs. And I saw two horseshoe crabs. What's a nice way of putting it? On top of each other?
Yeah.
There's two horseshoe crabs on top of each other.
Osaka aquarium.
Osaka Aquarium. Okay, send me that.
Yes, I will send you that.
But yeah, two horseshoe crabs on top of each other. And it wasn't one tail, it was two. And ever since that, my life was changed. I lost some of my childhood innocence.
Aww, over horseshoes.
Over mating horseshoe crabs. And the second time I saw horseshoe crabs, just horseshoe crabs, was in the Singapore Zoo.
Ah.
Well, I think it was the river
Safari.
River Safari. Was it
Yeah.
River Safari? It was something river.
If it's river, it's River Safari.
Okay, probably River Safari then. With all the fish tanks and stuff. There was a horseshoe crab tank.
Ah.
And there were pairs of horseshoe crabs. Pairs. At least three. At least 3 pairs of horseshoe crabs.
This is like your life now. Just every few years.
Every time I've seen horseshoe crabs, they were mating. Like 2 of the horseshoe crabs like weren't mating; they were apart. But
Yeah.
but there were 3 pairs.
Damn.
So I don't know what it's. I don't know what's it about with me and horseshoe crabs. But
Yeah.
leave me alone.
Not once, not twice.
Well, it was twice.
2 separate
Twice.
times, but
It was 2
once
separate
but 3
times,
pairs.
But once had 3 pairs.
Will this be the last time you see it? No one knows.
No one knows. I have photos. I'll show you if you want a photo.
Yes.
I don't have them on this phone.
Yes.
but I have.
You can send it to me too.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'll send you the pictures I have with the whale shark. But you know, this is what like I say like when I mean that like I realize we're friends when I can just sit alone with you and talk.
Yeah.
So you remember the day we were doing the niankao?
Yeah.
I was a bit scared because I was like, yeah, I can talk to Elisha, but we're spending a whole day together. What if I run out of things to say to her? And so I was really like happy like and surprised. Like at the end of the day, I was like, oh, we talked a lot. We had things to say to each
Yeah,
other.
we had things to say, and you taught me stress.
Yeah. Very
it was a fun
non-stressful game.
It was a very stressful game. But I think it's a fun game.
Mm-mm.
Would make for a good CU social. You should teach people.
I know, I should teach people that. It would be really fun.
Yeah. Do you feel like it's awkward when you run out of things to say with your friends? Because you've got comfortable silence, but you also have that one moment where the conversation stops.
Again, like, if it's close friends, it's fine. Like, I can sit in comfortable silence. I don't know when's the last time I felt really... Well, I usually feel more awkward when it's friends I'm not that close to. I do have, like, off days where my mind is so blank, I have nothing to say. And I usually just let them lead the conversation or we can just sit there. But apart from that, it's mostly fine in that sense. I do get something else, though, where, like... some groups of friends, even like close groups of friends, like if I don't, so there's this one group of friends where we always spend quite a number of hours together. So in my head, even if we say we're going to only spend 1 hour together in a meetup, in the back of my head I've already sort of like prepared myself like, hey, this could go on the whole night kind of meetup. But if I don't mentally prepare myself, even for close friends, that hey, this is going to be a long meetup, I get tired after 3 hours and I need to go and have alone time.
I really relate to that because as much as I love spending time with like select people, I do need to mentally prepare myself because maybe we're doing an activity together, but I'll still be around people. And I need to mentally prepare myself for that because if I don't mentally prepare myself, I will also tire out quickly as much as I like being with them.
Yeah. That's the thing, like, it's just, I just need to let myself know, like, hey, this is gonna be a really long thing, right? Because if I think, like, okay, it's gonna be a really short meeting, it's not gonna be no more than 3 hours, by that mark, I'll be like, okay, I need to go. And, like, even if they go on and be like, hey, we should do this together, I'll be like, no, I need to go. And I don't need a long break, right? Because once that idea is already in my head and I go back and, like, I'm alone for like half an hour, 1 hour, I'll be like, hey, why did I say no? That was such a great idea. But that's because in hindsight I've already sort of prepared it. It's like, hey, I could have done this and I'm like prepared for it. But if I think that okay, it's going to be a short meeting, if I don't prepare like, hey, it's going to be a long meeting, I just need to tell myself that. It's not even like a long preparation. If I tell myself that it's a short meeting, I get exhausted after a few hours.
Yeah, because if I tell myself that, I'll like subconsciously expect a short meeting, and I'll start thinking, why is this taking so long? It's even when I play badminton, it happens. Like I'll mentally prepare myself because I have to, because there's going to be people there, and even if I'm not talking to those people, I will sense, not even sense, I see it. They are there. I see their presence. So I will need to sometimes mentally prepare myself to go into badminton. And sometimes when I'm there, I just don't feel like playing. I'll just tell people, like, y'all play on my court. I'll just sit here.
Yeah, fair enough.
And I'm pretty sure people have seen my social battery die before. Like, but I like doing spontaneous things. Like, when I invited you guys to come over for Niangao, when we fried that, that was a spontaneous thing. That I thought of that idea like 2 days before, but it was just like a fleeting thought. It was just, what if I had people for leftover Niangao?
Yeah.
And then I didn't even know who I'd invite. I just invited people either the night before or on the day.
Yeah.
And the night of, I invited you and took me. So, and then I'm pretty sure some people saw my social battery die in the middle. Because it's a good idea. It's a good idea in theory. Like, get my friends together in the kitchen to have niangao. But also, people in the kitchen. A lot of people in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So like, I like the idea of it. I like being there.
Yeah.
And then the system crashes.
Yeah.
and then you become a shell of human.
It's also the fact that it's in sort of like your safe space, like the space you go to get away from people, and then when they're in there, you're like, oh, now where do I go when I need an out?
That makes sense. But my kitchen's not even safe space because people are there.
Yeah.
Because my neighbors are there. Not that I don't like my neighbors if they ever end up listening to this, but neighbors are there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's also like when I was in primary school, my mom didn't let me like go to friends' houses even for projects. It's always they had to come to my house. And my friends really liked this arrangement because I had an Xbox, so they were really happy with this arrangement because they could come over to mine and play Xbox. I was the only one not happy with this arrangement because I wanted to go to my friends' houses and have fun there. So when I got to secondary school and my mom started letting me go to my friends' houses, I stopped inviting people to my house. I just went to their houses. They've never come to mine. I only went to theirs. And that only changed in even my best friend. I had a best friend, right? And I would go to her house every week, like once a week, because we would study lit together. So I would go to her house every single week, but she hadn't been to my house. And I only started inviting people to my house again I think after college, like after my A-levels finished, I think my friends really were like, we want to go to your house. And then for the first time I went, okay. And I let them in. And I was so uncomfortable because like for a really long time I hadn't invited friends to my house. And I was like, this is my safe space. Now they know where I live. I was like, I love them, but they know where I live now. Yeah.
Invited intruders.
And then it got more people started being invited to my house because I had surgery, so I couldn't leave the house. So my friends were like, it's okay, we'll come to you. So more people got invited to my house. And then now it's like, okay, I've sort of gotten used to it again where I don't mind it. It's not as weird as the first time when people started coming over. But also it's not I would rather go somewhere else than have people come to my house. Also because there's nothing to do with my house. But the good thing about that is, because my house is considered like a little out of the way, most people don't really like coming to my house anyway because it takes a long time for them to come. So
was that when you had your coconut palm trees? Was it palm trees?
Yeah, coconut.
Coconut, yes.
Yes.
Wait, what do you have on your Xbox?
What do I have on my... Oh, it's been such a long time. I had the Just Dance. I had the adventure one.
What is that?
I don't know. I don't know. It's the CDs.
CD games.
Yeah. I forgot. I stopped playing it when I was in early secondary school. I know there was one that there was a lot of boxing. I did boxing with my dad a lot.
That's not Wii.
No, it's not Wii.
Because I didn't grow up really having gaming consoles. I had... Well, my family had a computer, and we had a family iPad, so mostly played those games.
Yeah.
But yeah, well now we have a family Switch.
Huh.
So we have, the main games I play on it are Mario Kart 8. We have Mario Party Superstars. We're not being sponsored, by the way. I'm just name dropping them. But this one I will name drop. Please sponsor me. Star Wars Pinball. I love Star Wars Pinball.
Never played that. I played the first two.
Oh, okay.
Once each. I played the Mario Party one with my friend when I last went back. Because she messaged me and she's like, I have a Switch now. Do you want to come over and play? That was also the first time she invited me to her house. Yay. She's also like me where she doesn't like people coming to her house. And then she just messages me out of the blue one day, hey, you want to come over and play? I have a Switch now. I was like, okay.
I don't like people coming over to my house because that means I have to clean my room. And my room is very messy. I'm a very messy person. I generally know where my stuff is, but I'm just not good at cleaning up.
Yeah.
Gotta work on that, but I'm not good at cleaning up.
Oh, same. You know, I haven't invited anyone in my room in the 3 years that I've been here. And Tofumi keeps going like, hey, you really need to invite me. And I do want to invite her, but I need to clean my room first.
I can't invite anyone to my room because there's no space for you there.
Yes, I have a whole section that's just a pile of laundry that needs to be done. It started off as one pile, now it's a full corner.
I'm not gonna say how long, but some people know that I've been talking about doing my laundry for a while.
Me too.
But the good thing is, when I don't want to show up to something, like not like something I need to go to, like see you, but like if somebody wants to invite me to something they're doing, I can use the excuse that, sorry, I can't because I need to do my laundry. I haven't done my laundry for a while, and I really, really have to. Yes. Which I do.
Yes.
Just haven't. But I need to do my laundry, which is technically true. You know, lawyers, we gotta know what's technically true.
We're not lying.
We're not lying. We need to do our laundry.
Yes. We didn't say when, but we do need to do it.
Yeah. See, technically correct statements.
Yeah. Do you find a difference between, like, your CU friends and your badminton friends in terms of, like, what you talk about? You need to remember who are your friends in CU.
No, I need to remember who I categorize as a friend. Yeah, cause I have CU friends that I added to my list of friends in the UK like a week ago.
Yeah.
So they're new friends, not because I just met them, but because they just got promoted.
They met the checklist.
They got recently promoted. And well, okay, I think one thing that makes me put them on the list was I would hang out with you one-on-one.
Yeah.
But do I find a difference? I don't think so, not really, because I usually end up talking to people about whatever we want to talk about. But for CU, of course, there are gonna be more Christian themes. Like if I want to talk to somebody about the Bible, I would be more likely to do that with a friend I know from CU than a friend I know from badminton, because most of my friends from badminton are not Christian.
Yeah.
And I think it's also, we will see things from a different worldview. Like, being Christian, we believe in the biblical doctrines, like where we're going after we die, where we came from, why we're here. That's very different from my friends from badminton who are not Christian. So even talking, we might have a very different way of seeing things, and that might not factor in what we talk about, but maybe how we address it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's the main thing, cause like friends, we can talk about whatever. It's just how we address certain issues, or not even serious issues, just
issues.
Oh yeah, it's like how people in badminton will be a lot more crass in their language.
Okay.
Like I'm not talking about friends. I'm talking about just people in badminton.
Yeah.
Like I've heard Mandarin and Cantonese like insults and like swears just dropped around, and I'll be like, I don't even hear these in Hong Kong. Maybe it's just because I don't know them. But I learned new Mandarin insults here. Yeah, I can't say it.
Can't say it on air, but
I can't say it on air, and I'm not going to.
Yeah.
I learned things.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's like I think just because we have CU, and in each CU session there are discussion questions and people are like prepared and open to discuss things. For me, like CU friends, we do have more deeper conversations. More regularly. Like I do have deep conversations with my other friends, but it's not as common as regular. So it makes kind of a difference, like the things you talk about, I think.
Yeah, because sometimes I don't know how to start a deep conversation with a friend. Like sometimes deep conversations are fun.
Yeah.
But they can also be tiring because I have to dig through more of my brain to be able to come up with an analytical answer that ties up my opinion on the matter. Especially if it's not an opinion with a very clear right and wrong.
Yeah.
Not like, was the Holocaust bad? Yes. Everybody's gonna say yes. There's no debate about that.
Yeah.
But some other stuff, we don't know.
Yeah. But there's also those situations where, like, because they're my Christian friends and, like, different people have different, like, limits, or, like, some things I'll be like, maybe they won't be comfortable if I said something like that, so I don't say it. Especially in my Christian friends, I feel like I do think more about they may be more uncomfortable with certain jokes.
Oh, same. Like, I do censor myself around my Christian friends. It's like,
yeah.
I think it's something a lot of people do, because I grew up going to a Christian school.
Yeah.
So, Christian school swears when you can't swear at school. Like,
yeah.
frick.
Yeah.
So, like, I do censor myself. And I do try to swear less, but I do intentionally censor myself.
Yeah.
Around my Christian friends. Like, either language-wise or also the types of jokes I make.
Yeah.
Like, I make less racist jokes. And I know this one you have to be very careful with, because there are friends who might not be comfortable with racist jokes. And there are friends who will be very comfortable because they know for sure that you're joking.
Yeah.
And the jokes aren't even that racist. Like, well, okay, I don't get to say that. But it's made very lighthearted, and you're close enough.
Yeah.
And experienced enough with each other to know that they're not serious. They'd never actually say something like that and be serious. And it's not an insulting joke. It's just slightly racist, but it's okay.
Yeah.
It's like when Key and Peele make black people jokes. And it's like when we make Asian jokes.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't make Indian jokes unless I know my friend is very, very comfortable with it.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I do think that I censor myself a little bit more.
I think I have made a joke about colonizing Vietnam, though. I don't know what the context was, but I'm sure I've joked about that somewhere. And that's because people know I'm not actually gonna ever try to colonize Vietnam.
It's okay. Like, if you Tofumi will know, because Tofumi is like someone who's in both friend groups. She will know the type of jokes that that we make in my other friend group.
It's like you have a designated racist.
It's not even racist jokes.
Is it worse? Worse?
Worse? What?
Worse? Is it worse?
I won't say it out. But I will type it out for you to see.
I can also type it out for you too. I'm just gonna say PDF file jokes.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, we have a designated guy who's the target.
That's also.
Oh yeah. That's
no, my other group of friends, we have full lores.
Lore.
Yeah, we have full lores about all the jokes that we make.
I mean, incest happened in the Bible. It's not that crazy.
Yeah.
And it's illegal. Well, cousins.
Illegal.
In Ohio, can you marry your cousins in Ohio?
Yes, I think so.
Wait, Google. I know.
But it's also America.
It is America. Wait. So according to AI overview on Google, in California, first cousin marriages are illegal. California.
Gosh.
As well as in many other states. Many. Like Alabama, Colorado, Connecticut, Florida, Georgia, and New York. That can't be real. I don't trust it. I don't trust that data. I don't think that's a credible source.
Yes.
No way.
One day when we're free, I'll just tell you about the whole lore because it's still growing.
Oh no.
In our group, it grows every single day. Tiffany is an unwilling participant in this. I have to say.
I mean, if she gets a good deal, why not?
Yeah.
I don't marry cousin. Don't.
We're not endorsing this.
don't. We're not. No. Okay. You know what? This. All opinions on this podcast are from the people speaking at the moment. And the people speaking here, Rhea and I, do not endorse first cousin marriages.
Yeah.
We'd like to make that clear.
As people who've already mentioned that they are Christians too.
there have been relative marriages in the Bible.
Yeah.
Before God was like, stop doing that. So back when you could still do it, they did it.
So if you invent a time machine, sure.
It's like taking advantage of things you can do until the expiry
Someone
date.
says no. Yeah.
So we've got a couple minutes left.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna ask you, how do you know if somebody also sees you as a friend?
That's a good question. I rarely know, to be fair, and I also don't really think about it much, because it's more like, I feel like if they want to hang out with me, I would consider them a friend. Like, I would think they consider me a friend. Like, if they, like, ask me to hang out with them, or if they keep texting me, even though I would take a really long time to respond to them, I do consider them a friend. But, yeah, I don't know, I rarely know. I just, most of the time I assume. And my assumption is based on the fact that they do want to hang out with me. Like, it's not just me, like, hanging out with them or going out to them and, like, talking to them, but they also come up to me and, like, talk to me and say, like, hey, let's do this one day. Sort of thing.
So if they also reach out to make contact.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I know some people who do that, but they might just be really friendly. So I don't know if they do that to everybody or... Because for me, I've got friendly acquaintances. But you've got to, like, break into the industry.
But when you say friendly acquaintances, do you mean, like, in uni or off uni too?
In uni. So right now I'm just talking about in the UK.
Yeah,
And the only friends I have in the UK... Well, besides my friends from Hong Kong who are also currently studying here. But I'm just counting friends in the UK. They're all from uni. I
think uni is a bit different, because it's the first time where you have friends that... So my relationship with my uni friends are very different from my relationship with friends at home, and I don't know how it will change when we leave uni, but I do feel like we're closer because we see each other every day, because we're basically living in the same place. So I think because of that, like, because you have so much time and you're living in one place, people are more friendly in the sense, like, friendly acquaintances happen because they're like, hey, you know, we're all on uni, we have nothing else to do, let's just go and hang out with people. And you're also more willing to meet people. For example, if someone, like, people who are that friendly, if someone comes up to them and says, hey, let's hang, they'll be more open to it because you're in the same place. And I think that's a bit different when you're not living together, because then it takes more effort to meet. In that sense. So personally, I don't think that if you are friendly acquaintances, I don't think that they will put in that much effort to meet you if you're far away, or to check up on you if they didn't consider you a friend. But that's a very personal opinion. I could be wrong.
Because sometimes I check up on people, like, if they're sick or something. But not because like, we're friends, but because somebody's not feeling well and they're a friendly acquaintance. Like, I've talked to them multiple times. Like,
yeah,
I still kind of care.
Yeah. But I think that, like, when you stop living together, if you're just friendly acquaintances, that will you will also sort of start drifting.
Drift off. Yeah. But yeah, I think that makes sense. This was a good conversation.
Yeah.
We had fun. Did you have fun?
I had a lot of fun.
I'm achieving my dreams of becoming a podcast bro.
Yeah.
You can't be a finance bro. You can't be an alpha bro. Be a podcast bro.
Exactly. You're starting something new.
Yay.
It could be an entire job from now on. And I could just come in when I need money.
I'm not getting paid for this. This is going into my volunteering hours.
Hey, one day we could potentially get paid for this. Well, you could, and then I will come and guest star.
on this, yeah.
Okay. And once you do, let me know. I'll come right back and guest star.
Yeah,
that will be my whole
money.
income, my whole source of income.
See, we like money. Money's good.
Yeah. Like I told Tofumi, you just need one rich friend. If you don't want to succeed or you can't succeed, you just need to make one friend who's really rich and who can sponsor you.
Think of the Justice League.
Yeah.
Think of the Avengers.
Yeah.
Tony Stark, Batman. Look at them.
Exactly.
They sponsor their friends.
Or you have someone who's interested in starting their own business, Tofumi, and then you tell them in the early on that you're going to work for them and this role is yours.
I mean, yeah, she's business and management, right?
Yeah.
She's going to lead lawyers.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I told her I don't want to be a lawyer. I'll be her personal assistant and do whatever she says. And she's accepted that.
Oh. Okay.
So, like, secretary, you know, I already have the backing.
You have experience.
I can go and run and get her meals.
Work experience.
I can make her coffee and her tea.
Okay. This was good.
Yes.
I want tea now.
Oh, me too.
We're gonna go get teas.
Yes.
Okay.